Good?
Yep.
Good stuff.
Sweet.
So are we doing another intro or?
Yeah, we'll do another intro, but what I'll do is I'll probably clip in a little bit of that sweet experience we had. So
Deal.
what I'll do is I'll just do the intro and then I'll share a little bit of why we switched over here.
Okay.
All right. Welcome, Red Bus Podcast family, to season 2, episode 1.5. I'm sitting here with my homeboy Eli. We'll add in a little bit of a clip from what we tried to do for episode 1 earlier until we got kicked off of parking lot property at the church, which was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I have 2 fingers in mind for that person. It was not very nice what he did.
Yeah, I mean it's okay, whatever.
It's that someone who
Just
never
isn't
got
super
out
active. Yeah.
wouldn't do. Oh, here he comes.
Oh, here he comes. Sweet.
Bishop Price is in the building down on Evergreen, so you really can't give me permission to be at this building.
Okay. Cool.
It affects our tax exempt status of the church. That's one of the things they have to look for.
Cool.
Think what you want about me, but I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Cool. Cool.
All right. What now? Do you think he's gonna wait?
I don't know. He'll probably wait.
He'll probably wait for us to leave,
Yep.
or maybe he's just gonna ask and then.
No, he's gonna wait. We'll do what we can. So here we are in the driveway. This will be the 3rd episode I think we've done in the driveway. Sorry for the weird little lighting right here. There's only so much I can do in tweaking the sun for my positioning, So
That's the hard thing about an outside podcast is you can't control the
you
environment nearly as
can't.
much.
You really can't. We've done a couple back here on the driveway, and the neighbor started mowing his lawn and stuff. But luckily, like we were talking about earlier, the mics don't really pick up that stuff.
Oh, right. So
It's been super
it
nice.
doesn't matter since they're cardioid.
Yeah, it's been super nice.
That's a good point. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it nearly as much.
Super good.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think we'll just start again with what was your childhood like?
Okay. So I think now I've had a chance to prepare, so I've ruined the podcast format.
No,
when you
it's
don't get
okay.
to think about it.
No, but it wasn't your choice to have it ruined. So.
No. It wasn't my choice. But yeah, I grew up. I grew up here in Utah. I think it was a pretty stereotypical, normal Utah background. I'm one of 5 boys in my family, no girls. Which it was a bit of a rowdy household, but it did pretty good. It was fairly good, and we kept our heads on throughout the years, so I think we did pretty good. But yeah, and then I was I've always been kind of a classic middle child and a classic black sheep. I've always been interested in different things than the rest of my family. I never really played sports. They tried, like I said last time, it was pee-wee soccer, pee-wee basketball. They just could not get it to take. And it was really, I was more interested in computers and video games and the mind. I was just less interested in those kind of more physical hobbies, which is funny. I've actually come more full circle around that with one-wheeling and exercise. I'm really starting to figure out what is fun and interesting about physical activity and why it's fun to do. I've had to learn that in, the start of my adulthood, which is, kind of backwards from how most people do it.
Right.
But it's added a level of consciousness to it that I really like. There's sort
Yeah.
of and I get to understand why, from the ground up, think of it like learning a second language. There's a lot more.
So
understanding.
you're understanding the reasoning behind certain
Right.
things.
Yeah. Like, oh, like I get why running and cardio can be really like nice because you get to drop into the feeling of the body and it like turns off your brain for a while.
Yeah.
But, and it took me a really long time to understand running. And
So
why,
what are your favorite, actual cardio?
oh, skiing. Okay. So I always
Okay.
have, that's the one thing that took was skiing. And that was only because I got forced for so long that eventually I enjoyed it. And then I got peer pressured by Kyler and everybody.
Okay.
So that was what made me good at skiing. I can thank Kyler and Abe and Max for that because they took me up there in my little hot dog outfit and I wore a yellow pants and a red coat, so I looked like Ronald McDonald. But they took me up there and they wouldn't tell me where we were going. They were just like, "Here's this double black, you go down it." And that was how I learned to ski. I just through male peer pressure. So
but you knew at least.
well, no,
you knew
I
the
knew
basics.
I knew what I was doing. I was just too afraid to actually send it through.
Right. Right.
Like to get the so I guess what I mean is the confidence to ski. I knew how to.
and
I knew
somebody to
how
push
to
you.
ski.
Somebody to push you.
Somebody to push me and be there if I were to like fall or something. You know,
Yeah.
like it's hard to hit those double blacks for your first time alone. And you're like, well, what if I fall? I'm just gonna wait for the next guy to come and call the ski patrol.
Yeah.
Like, so like having a little confidence there. That and then I do one wheeling in the summer. I don't know if that's much of a sport. I mean,
I feel like it is.
it's a bit of a leg workout to go on those hard trails.
Yeah, I
and I
feel
mean,
like
I
it
took
is.
Rookie of the Year last year.
Oh yeah.
So it was pretty awesome. Yeah, since it was my first year in, there weren't too many rookies. It wasn't that big of a competition, but
hey,
I did take it.
don't downplay
pretty
it,
cool.
man. Don't downplay
It
it.
was pretty. Hey, all right, you're right.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. It was a big accomplishment for me,
I like it.
and I did crush times. I was up with the big guys.
And that was trail riding.
That was trail riding. So it's not just so most people see one wheels on like the street. We're talking like mountain bike trails, dirt mountain bike trails throughout the Utah Valley. Salty Rail, shout out. Well, it's awesome. It's really fun.
I've made that a goal of mine this year is to try and hit some more actual trails.
Oh yeah. Well, dude,
It's
assuming
a little sketchier than like on the road.
well,
It's
okay,
definitely a lot more work.
it's a lot more work. Honestly, I like it. I think it is safer. It's like skiing in powder versus skiing on the groomers. The groomers are easier. The powder's harder. But once you learn it, powder's way safer to fall in. I'd so much rather fall in dirt
Yeah.
than on pavement and get road rash.
Yeah.
And especially for how much I'm gearing up when I go on a trail. Like I'm wearing knee pads, I'm wearing elbow pads, I'm wearing wrist guards, I'm
Yeah.
wearing, a whole jacket that has padding in it. It's just safer,
Yeah.
Like overall if I'm going to fall. And I'm not going as fast. I'm pushing it hard, because the biggest time advantage is when you're on a board is when you hit corners, when you slow down, so it's not as much about going 25 miles an hour on the dirt. It's about optimizing your corners, optimizing your turning,
right.
like losing less speed on uphills, so learning to kind of integrate with that and flow with the
So
trail.
like what's your average speed in a race, you think?
It depends on the trail. I think I averaged like 13 to 15 miles an hour, like on trail, like on a good day. And I mean, if I'm hitting like Wild Rose, I could get up to like, or especially, what is it called? It's the one up in Farmington. It's right next to Lagoon. I can't remember, but that one you can get going like 18, 20 miles an hour average.
I mean, I do that on the road,
Right.
and that's kind of pushing it.
Right. Well, you don't have to do that. I'm really pushing it.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to win times. I tried to. The other guys show me up though. They'll go like 25 average on those trails. On that same trail, they're like 25 average. It's ridiculous. I mean,
That's
these guys
crazy.
are so fast, you just can't keep up with them. There's a couple like, you have like the 10X developer in the software world. You have the 10X one wheeler, and they just crush
Everybody.
everybody.
I mean,
it's ridiculous. I'm not even close to their level.
That's just the way it is in any sport, though.
Right. Yeah,
Really?
you'll have one guy where she's just nuts.
Yeah.
You're not catching up.
I
Not
mean,
without some
so
serious
like
work.
last year I did Speed Goat, the 50K, which is up at Snowbird.
Oh shoot.
So it's like 32 miles and
Whoa.
over 11,000 feet of vert, and you run it.
Holy cow.
And I did it in just under 11 hours. But the fastest guy, what was it? It was just over. No, it was just under 5 hours. It was just under 5 hours.
He cut your time in half?
Yeah, bro.
Holy cow.
And the fastest woman was just under 6 hours.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
It's so fast. I mean, there's some climbs that you're like, you're literally climbing. You know, it's so
Right.
steep. I'm like,
Yeah,
how do you do
snowboard's
this so
not-
fast?
That's
You
not
know?
easy, man. And I mean, the air, like, so are you climbing up the mountain or are you going down the road?
So you start at the tram,
Mm-hmm.
the bottom tram, and you head up and kind of all around, and then you get up to the top of the tram. So that's the front side.
Mm-hmm.
Then you drop down into the back.
Oh, you drop down behind, like, what is it? Mineral Basin?
Yep.
Okay.
You drop down into there, and you come back up. You go through the tunnel.
Mhm. Oh, you go through Peruvian Tunnel?
You go through the tunnel.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then you drop down a little more, and then you come up a ridge back up to the tram,
Hmm.
and then drop back down the way you came up.
Wow.
I mean, it was incredible. I loved it.
That sounds great. I mean, I can imagine why that took 12 hours, though.
It was amazing.
I bet. Man, that's super impressive.
I mean,
I mean,
Christy can vouch for me. I was smiling at every stop she could see me at because I
Oh, yeah?
I literally was loving it, even though it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I was loving it,
that's amazing.
but I had put in a lot of work to be ready for it, you know.
Right.
But even all that work I put in,
Nothing.
that other guy cut
Right,
my
he cut,
time
you,
in
he cut
half.
you in half.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing. You're like, after all the work I did,
Yeah.
and that was the time I got, and I felt so proud of it. And then some guy just comes in.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. Like I put a whole season of good work in, and
But you know what though?
people
That's
just crush.
you just can't compare yourself to other people.
No.
You got to compare yourself to yourself.
It really is a thief of joy, and I got so much better. The start of the season, I mean, like I would go to trails. Like I remember I went back to the same trail that I went to at the very start of my season, and I like cut my time in half
Yeah.
or something, like something ridiculous.
And
like
that's
that.
exciting.
It was
That's what
great.
it's all about.
Yeah, exactly. It was so much improvement, and I mean, above all, I had so much fun. I met so many people. Like
Yeah.
that was the great thing about it. Like, yeah, back to that. Back to your actual question.
Hey,
Um,
this is just how this goes.
yeah, it is true. But yeah, I've been learning why that's so fun and all the different components of that as an adult, and I've been more conscious about it, which has been really cool to be like, oh, and I see why it's enjoyable for this reason.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas like if you have something from the start, you need to lose it to figure out why it's so important.
Yeah. It's
But yeah, other than that, yeah, like being a nerdy kid, being kind of a black sheep. It was really nice. I had a really steady group of friends. Really, it was Abe, Luke Benyon, and me who would hang out a ton. I don't know if you know Luke Benyon, but
I don't remember Luke.
he never came around. He never came around. You don't what? Oh yeah, he was on the basketball team, so you might have known him from there. But
Okay.
he was that's OG, our friend group. You know, that's like 7th grade.
So you and Abe have been buddies like
Oh, we've been
from the
buddies since
jump.
like 4. The first time, there's a funny story about the first time I met him. I actually we were in preschool together, and I bit him on the rocket ship, and that was the first time that we
That's
met. It
how
was like a
that's
little
how
rocket ship.
friends are formed, man.
I think so. Yeah, we bit each other. The rest is history.
Boom.
Yeah,
Friends for life.
yeah.
Blood
Super funny
brothers.
that- Yeah, blood brothers, literally. Yeah. It was ridiculous.
Oh.
But yeah, no, that was how I knew everyone, and I mean, I ended up just by happenstance. I remember the day that I met everyone in that friend group. That was back when Damon Rasmussen was there, and when Luke Benyon, and they were all hanging out at Damon's place. And I remember the day Abe invited me over, and I felt like I was like a cool kid. You know, like I remember that feeling where I was like, oh my gosh, I made it.
That's awesome.
And then I stayed there until the end of high
Forever.
school. Yeah, literally forever. I mean, if they hadn't gone to the mission, we would still be hanging out regularly.
and
I'm sure we will once
you
we get
will.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll just jump right back in.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those friend groups, you know. But yeah, it was pretty steady that way.
So what gaming console was your favorite growing up? I was about to ask like Nintendo or Genesis, but I'm like, that's way before your time.
Nintendo, the NES, way above the Genesis,
Okay.
all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the SNES, dope.
Yeah.
But when it came N64 time, I don't know. PS1, PS2 started taking the reign.
So you like,
You know?
are you a PlayStation guy?
No, I'm not a PlayStation guy. I'm an Xbox guy.
Xbox.
If I had anything, but I have a PC.
yeah. So
you know-
you do Steam games?
Yeah, Steam games. Yeah. I mean, that was my thing all the way back, like when I was 12. I mean, I told you I was a nerdy kid.
Yeah.
I fit the part.
So do you build your own computer?
Yeah. Yeah, I built that was way long time ago. I feel like in general, the life circumstances have changed, but back when I was super into that, like, yeah, I did. I still have the computer I built when I was like 15.
That's sweet.
Yeah. I actually might need to upgrade that thing because it's like 3 generations old now. But
I would
Yeah.
probably bet you do.
I probably have to, but I actually don't use it because school. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you
use
got.
it for
I mean,
programming.
that's just life. That's just life.
It's life. I mean, new things take priority.
Right.
So I don't get much gaming time in, and I mean, if I did, I'd want to be going with Kyler and them playing Call of Duty during COVID.
Yeah.
One of the best memories I have. Like, actually incredible. What a great way to spend COVID.
Yeah.
Like I've had more connection then than I think. You know.
Hey, during COVID, we were locked up in our houses all alone with nobody around.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Actually, no. We had our friends.
On Xbox.
We weren't the type that
Did you have a ton of friends over?
no. So the neighbors across the street and our kids, we made a deal like, dude, we're not going to survive if the kids can't see each other.
Right.
So,
So who's that? Is that Solomon? Or-
yeah, that was the Ivans.
Ah.
They just rolled. It was just us rolling together, doing our thing.
I love that.
Other than that, we didn't really do much, but you know, for the
Right.
sanity of everyone involved.
I think
We
you need to
needed
have
something.
some contact. Yeah, when we first went up to COVID, or when COVID first happened, we went up to our cabin in Tabiona. That was like, it felt surreal, like to be actually living up there. Because my grandpa usually lives up there. He was in. They had a summer house and a winter house, and the winter house is obviously somewhere warmer because they're old.
Yeah.
So they like it warm. So we were living there. It was a bunch of snow, and I mean, there's just nothing there for miles and miles and miles, and it felt surreal. And we couldn't have any internet because it was way up there. You know, they had whatever crappy internet that they get.
Like dial up.
I don't know, yeah, dial up or something. I don't know what the heck it was, but it didn't have any. You know, I couldn't play Call of Duty. I tried. I brought my computer. It didn't. The whole PC tower. I brought it with the monitor and everything. Couldn't play.
Couldn't play.
No. And we did that for like a month, and then we realized that was a terrible idea, so we came back.
Yeah.
But we thought the apocalypse was happening, so it was a good alternative
Right.
to be up on some random piece of land
Yeah.
away from any Walmart or anything. I don't know. So that was what we did until we realized the world wasn't ending.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, Call of Duty ruled, and that was what I think that was the major incentive to play games is human connection.
Yeah.
Which seems ironic because that's not what most people think of when they think of video games.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you're playing video games, multiplayer, it can be connecting.
I absolutely agree with you. Like,
Yeah.
I think 100% it can, but I just don't think that that's, you know, what Joe Schmo, I've never played video games, thinks.
Oh, of course
when they-
not.
Yeah.
But they've never played video games.
Right.
They don't know anything.
They don't know anything. But that's what I'm just saying for anyone who hasn't, it's an oddly connective experience.
Right. I mean, it could be compared to texting.
No,
I mean,
no, it can't be carried. No.
I mean,
no.
think about
I
it.
would
though.
push back on that pretty heavy.
But texting is like supposedly connecting, right? But
No.
but it's not all at the same time.
Texting's definitely not connecting.
How not?
I don't think because you can't get emotion across. Texting,
I agree with that.
Texting like degrades your social centers of like interaction with other people.
But you can have connection through texting.
I mean, like, it's just nothing close to what is
I didn't
actually-
say it was close.
It's like
I'm
it's
saying
like
it's connecting though.
it's like instead of drinking a can of Coke, you get to sniff it from across the room. It's like you like you can still tell it's Coke. You can like, I guess I could smell it. You know, it's not the same as like, you know, talking to someone, really getting down and being able to like bro down with someone. You know, that's not at all what I feel like you get when you're texting somebody. Even the most deep conversation gets boiled down.
It gets
when you
boiled
try to,
down.
when you try to reduce it to words.
I would
on
agree with
the
that.
screen.
I would agree with that. But that doesn't take away the fact that it can be connecting.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. It's
a different degree.
yeah.
I
It's a
agree.
different degree. Okay,
agree.
well, let's settle on it's a different degree. But it's very
But
different.
I mean,
it's like an order.
So is playing multiplayer on video games.
Yeah, but like I think this is like we're talking like, you know, a function of x versus x squared versus x cubed. You know, it's like it's orders of magnitude
I agree.
difference.
I agree.
But yeah, it is different. It's not as connective.
It is true.
But-
It's true.
Um,
I'm just
as
I
what-
use that as an example of the way that I've seen what smartphones have done to society as a whole, because texting has kind of taken over phone calls, right?
yes.
So because of that, like you said, emotion gets lost. A lot of times you'll get a text and you'll be like, "Why are you mad at me?"
Right.
And it's like,
and then they're
there's
literally
no
not
anger,
mad.
You know what I mean? And I think with that also, it shows in the everyday where people have a hard time interacting with each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're so tied to our phones.
Yep.
That now we don't know how to like have our heads up and actually talk to people and say hi to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a real problem. I mean, and I'm in the computer science program, so it's especially prevalent for me what happens to people who are heavy technology users. Is it becomes a huge problem. Like I was in a class. This is a very, very common story. I think I've told both of you this already, but it was in my algorithms class, and it was probably a class of 300 people, and the professor just offhandedly asked us, like, raise your hand if you feel like you're a social person. And I was one of 3 people in the entire class to raise my hand.
Wow.
And and I've experienced it too. You just can't talk to people.
Yeah.
I'm now doing like a 6-person group project. I think most of those 6 people got introduced together by me.
Yeah.
Like I would end up just talking to people who were next to me, and like one of the people I met from like 2 semesters ago ended up pairing with some of my other friends because I had gathered like a whole cluster of people. I mean, I don't want to take responsibility for it. That sounds kind of egotistical for me to say.
Well, no, you're
But,
just
like-
a more social person.
Right, I'm a more social person, and I mean, they themselves had said that, like, you know, I wouldn't have met this, you know, these people if it weren't for your connection. You know,
Yeah.
like I swear I'm not like, you know, egotistical.
Oh,
dude.
come on. You want all the credit. It's
Mm-mm.
fine.
I don't want to lick a credit, but yeah, it's a real problem. I think people really don't know how to talk and connect with other people, and I think it's one of the biggest things that we're here to do as people.
Yeah.
And so it really worries me to look at like my fellow people out there and see how damaged they are by it.
I agree. Our kids are well, Tate especially is very doesn't like to talk to people, and I'm trying to get him out of that habit. You know, we make him order his food if we go out to eat or whatever, because it's like, I'm not going to order it for you. You need to learn how to do this stuff, you know? There was an interesting thing that Christy read on Instagram or Facebook or something the other day about phone usage. And so we started doing the math on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I shared it with my kids because I looked up like what Stella's phone usage had been for the last week. It was like 4 hours a day or something. And so I'm like,
I got her beat.
look at this. Okay. Let's say you're awake for 16 hours a day because, you know, obviously you sleep.
Right.
So out of 16 hours in the day, you are on your phone 4 hours. You do the math, you multiply that, you know, into a year. It ended up being like 3 months of a year is spent on your phone. And that's only 4 hours a day.
Yep. And there have been times in my life, like before I deleted social media, that I would spend 6 or 8 hours, 9
Right.
hours, 10
So
hours on my
that's
phone
like
a day.
half a year you're on your phone.
Mhm. Probably half of my, like more than half of my waking existence was
Yeah.
spent staring at a brick in
Yeah.
my pocket.
And I don't, but see, until somebody actually breaks it down to those figures and like explains it,
Really gives it
I
to
don't
you.
think people really actually understand how much time that really is.
Right. Well, and how much, and what else you could be doing in that time.
Yeah.
Like, is this really what you want to be doing? Like, I've had to ask myself that over and over again because I find myself sitting on my phone watching a ton of, like, for me now it's YouTube because I got rid of all the other ones.
Yeah.
And like, is this worth spending 4 hours on? Did I waste an entire Saturday doing something that I enjoyed doing? Is this worthwhile for me?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I watched.
Well, that's why I
That's-
try to keep our podcast short so that you don't waste all your time.
Oh yeah. Am I gonna push the runtime by like double if I keep rambling? It's the problem is I can fill up as much time as you give me.
No, it's crazy. I saw another thing the other day while I was on my phone on Instagram, and it was like a drawing, right? And it had all these screens, and it had these people with their cameras taking photos, and it said something along the lines of, "Never in history have we recorded so much of nothing." And I started thinking about it like, yeah, dude,
Yeah.
we take the most random photos. If I go back through my photos right now, if I were to pull this up, there would be 8,000 photos of me with my tongue out while I'm running. Because that's like my notorious photo that I take while I'm running.
I've seen many of those.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's pointless, dude. It's like I need a good photo for like a picture frame or something.
Right.
And I can't find one because they're all just me with my tongue out.
I mean, you could frame that. That'd be great. I think I'd take one.
Okay.
We'll frame one.
I'll make sure I get you one of
Give me a
those.
5x8. I want one.
Okay, I'll make sure I
Yeah.
get you one. I'll make sure it'll be a good one too.
Please. Yeah.
Well, back to your childhood. We'll get back on topic here.
On the first question still.
This is how these things go sometimes.
Right. Is they
It's
just keep rambling.
they just go.
I mean,
but you know what?
At least I'm talking. At least it's more than, you know.
And we're talking, and we're flowing, and we haven't just been stuck in one little area. We've been talking about a lot of stuff.
Right.
So
right.
I like it. It's
Yeah.
good.
you have a lot to edit.
Is there anything that you miss from your childhood? Like, what do you miss?
I think as a child, you're not weighed down by so much of what happens in your world now. I think I get caught up in a lot more of the day-to-day minutia and what I'm supposed to be doing. And I don't feel like I had that as a kid. I think I missed that. Like, and the kind of the unadulterated joy that comes with like living in the moment.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. I think in
And-
pretty much every aspect, I feel like my life has improved as I've gotten older. And I've become more like of a whole and true to myself kind of person. I felt like I had to adhere a lot more as a kid.
Okay.
And that was very limiting.
And why do you feel like you had to adhere that way? Like, is it just kind of like,
I have an answer for that. I don't know if it'll be a popular one, but I just think that it has a lot to do with the culture here.
in Utah?
In Utah,
Yeah.
and specifically like there's a lot of image things, I mean, we're the Botox capital of, the plastic surgery capital of the world,
Yeah.
and we're supposed to treat our body as a temple.
Yeah.
And you tell me how the math figures on that one, Dan. You know?
Oh, I
that's-
don't do Botox.
Right,
so-
I know you. Why I know.
I mean, look at these bags under my eyes, dude. You know,
I think
do
you look
Botox.
beautifully human, and I think that's the point of what they say. But we're so concerned about image here and fitting a very specific mold of what a person is.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for a lot of cultures. I think it's prevalent here, and it's probably prevalent other places. I've only lived here, so I can only speak for what I've experienced here. But I found that extremely limiting, and I've had to go to great lengths to counteract that. To be my own person who does my own thing and isn't tied down by what other people think I need to be. Because I think there's a lot of expectations there.
Yeah. I like that answer.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a hard fought answer.
No, it wasn't.
Well, no, I mean,
I don't feel like it.
over
That
the
just
years.
Oh, okay.
over
You're
the years,
saying
like
over
not the
years.
actual like words of it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It was hard fought to
I
come to
got
the
you.
realization.
I got you. It took years for you to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. I mean, I feel like as we age, we all have those things that we have to work through and come to terms with.
Right.
And are we gonna keep going this route, or do I do what I feel in my heart I want to do or be?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
bravo to you for finding that way.
Yeah. Thank you. I'd encourage anyone to do the same. It's like I think people know intuitively, where they're supposed to be and what is ready for them next, you know?
Yeah.
I think that not following that is the worst thing you could do for your path. But that's just me.
But that's just him.
Yeah.
Young and wise.
You know, people say that. I try not to adhere to the title though, because I worry that that's like, I don't know. I have trouble accepting the word wise, you know,
Why is that?
just because I don't feel like it lends service to a certain kind of,
Like life
intelligence.
experience?
Yeah.
or something?
Like promoting one type of experience over another, you know? Like I'm good at some things. I'm good at putting words to ideas. I'm good at putting, I'm a thinker, but I'm not, you know, there's a lot of things I'm not great at. And I feel like, I don't know.
I feel like if you're wise, you are accepting of things that are not necessarily your own experience, though.
that's true. I think I am, but
So in that way, you are wise. You have your own experience, but you're also willing to see experience from other people's perspective that you haven't experienced yourself.
right.
So that makes you wise.
Okay. I'll accept that
So
definition.
just accept it and take it.
All right.
And stop arguing with me about it.
Thanks, Dan.
No, I'm just kidding. I think the thing is that the word wise, in my opinion, it feels like, oh, it's this old guy with the white beard that like
Right.
knows
Whatever
all of
sage
this
wisdom.
stuff. You know, he just knows everything about the universe.
Right.
But as I've gotten older, like I don't feel like I'm as old as I am.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of times, even if you're 70, you don't feel like you're actually 70, you know?
Right.
So when do you actually get to the point in your life when you're like, yeah, I am this old wise being that knows everything?
I think some people
doesn't
never. I
seem
think some
like you
people
get
never
to
get
that
there, and I
point.
think some people pop out that way.
So like an old soul that just like
Yeah.
feels like they just know what's up.
Yeah. I think it's more innate. You know, you like there's certain strengths, and I think, yeah, I just think I've met some people, and I mean I've seen some old people go out thrashing and screaming the way a child would. You know,
Yeah.
and you see some like 10-year-old kids who are like, you know, super crazy. You know, just there, present.
Yeah.
You know, they have their wits about them in
Yeah,
a
I
way
think-
that no 10-year-old should.
I definitely think that people come different ways. I think it's interesting to see how people relate to life as they get older. Like if they feel old, you know?
Yeah.
You know how some people are like, oh man, I feel so old.
Right.
Like the only time I ever feel old is if my body is sore. Other than that, like my spirit doesn't feel old at all.
Right.
Like I feel like I'm
Young and spry.
20 or
Spring
whatever.
chicken.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll ever be at that point where I'm like, yeah, I'm this old wise guy that knows what's up.
Yeah. I feel like for me, I feel like I have no idea what's going on, but there's also a deep sense of like this is fine, you know? Like there's some, you know, like this is how it's supposed to go. Like it doesn't make sense, but it also makes sense on some like deeper level. When you zoom out. I mean, obviously in the day-to-day life I'm all, you know, caught up.
Oh yeah.
But
No,
when I zoom out, I get a second to look at it.
the zooming out is what's a trip.
Can I have the umbrella? It's
Oh,
sunny.
you're getting hot.
I'm getting hot, dude. Well, because I'm in my jeans. I'm in these long jeans.
He's
and
in
the
his
sun's-
raw Japanese
sun's
denim
here.
jeans.
I know the raw Japanese denim, man. It's not. Oh, that's so much nicer. There we go. That's so good. I will hold this umbrella for a full hour if I need to. That's so much better.
Oh, that's funny.
Now you can even take a photo of that.
I'm actually gonna take a live photo right now
Do it.
from my perspective. That is
I love it.
classic.
Dude, it's like that sun made an incredible difference.
It gets hot,
Yeah.
like legit hot. My intro episode that I did, the bus was in the driveway, sun was out,
Hmm.
and I sat in the bus. Doesn't have AC.
Oh no.
And I did the episode. And if you watch the episode closely, it's on YouTube still. You can see like sweat dripping out of my goatee sometimes because I was dripping. It was so hot, dude.
Oh no, dude. Oh no.
That was
I can
wild.
only imagine.
Lessons learned.
Yeah, lessons learned. It's an iterative process.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine.
All right, we're gonna ask a fun one.
Let's do it.
By the way, all the questions today,
Mhm.
Christy came up with. So I had nothing to do with the questions today. I said,
Christy
babe,
was the master.
I said, baby, will you figure out the questions for me? She's like, sure. So she's got them.
Thank you, Christy. Appreciate
The
you.
fun question is, what do you think a rainbow would taste like? I think this is a throwback to episode 1, right? Yeah, this is a throwback to episode 1.
I mean, I can give you like a scientific answer. I can give you
No,
something
not
fun.
scientific.
Yeah, because I
Like
mean,
just first thing that comes to the head.
absolutely.
comes
Like
to your
the
head.
first thing that came to my mind was absolutely nothing. It's like a mirage. There's no way it tastes like anything. I mean, but like the idea of a rainbow.
Right. Like taste the rainbow Skittles, you know?
Yeah, I actually thought of Skittles too.
Yeah.
But
That's good.
just
That's
because-
good marketing.
Right. They really did. They've suckered me fully because I totally thought of Skittles. I think yeah, sweet. Something sweet. Like a sugary, like cane sugar sweet, not like a candy corn syrup sweet.
So a natural.
Yeah, like a natural sweetness. Yeah, because I don't think it's gonna taste like it came out of a factory.
It's gonna be more mellow.
Yeah, it's gonna be mellow. Like a mellow, sugary kind of.
Like a
You know,
fruit.
Yeah, maybe yeah, kind of like have you ever had like actual sugar cane
Yeah.
before? Like
Yeah.
kind of how it has like a tempered sugary taste. Like it's not like overwhelming, but it's like it's still sugary. It's just not so maybe like a fruit. You know how it has sugar in there, but it's not like made of corn syrup and carcinogens. I don't know, like a natural sweetness.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my best answer. If you want something imaginative,
I like that.
but probably nothing.
No, I mean,
Right.
we all know
you're
it tastes like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that gives you a sense of where my head's at.
I like it. You're more of a natural guy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, no, I don't like overall I'm more of a fruity kind of natural sweetness guy, but like I don't, it's not like I can't enjoy like a sweet tart rope or those
Yeah,
are
so
really great.
So if you had to have a high fructose corn syrup sugar candy, what would you eat?
Like a sweet tart rope.
Sweet
It's
tart rope
amazing or like a Slurpee.
or a Slurpee.
I like a good Slurpee.
What's your favorite flavor of Slurpee?
Oh man. Pina colada
Pina colada
or a blue raspberry or a Coke.
or a Coke.
Yeah, like Coca-Cola flavor.
But I only can sniff the Coke from across the
Right,
room.
no, you can only only from across the room because you're texting it.
Because I'm texting it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good answer. All right. Something a little more deep. What is something that you think society has lost? I mean, I feel like we touched on it a little bit earlier. We touched on one aspect earlier. But is there something that just really comes to mind that you think society's lost maybe in the last 10 years or so?
In the last 10 years?
Yeah, let's say 10, 15 years.
I think this answer goes good for the first idea I was thinking of and for the 10-year idea,
Okay.
and that's community. I think cell phones have absolutely destroyed community. As a young person trying to meet people, it is incredibly hard, and you have to go out of your way to find anybody who wants to be talked to. But more broadly, I just feel like I don't know if you've ever heard the concept of a third place, if you know at all that terminology, but it's basically like, we stay at home and then we go to work. But those are really the only two places we go.
Oh, so those are the first two.
There's church.
Okay.
And then for some.
Yeah.
But for those who don't go to church, that's, you really just have either home and school or home and work.
Yeah.
Or all three if you're a real, boss like that. But
so a third place.
So like a
church
third
would
place.
be third place.
The church is a third place, but like a place that you don't have a job to do and that
Yeah.
isn't your like absolute
It's
relaxing
like just
place.
a hangout.
It's a hangout place.
Yeah.
We don't have any of those.
Yeah.
Like there's no place that people just go to hang. There's no town square. There's no, there's no communal farm. There's no soup kitchen. I don't know. A lot of times, like let's talk tribal or like a small town, they'd go together to eat. They'd have like one cook whose job it was to cook food for the entire village, and then they'd all eat together
Yeah.
before they all went home, and people would just spend time hanging out.
Yeah.
That's all you could do is talk to other people. There wasn't, you couldn't go home and play Xbox. And so now we have everything at home and work to placate us, but I just think it doesn't nurse the soul. And I
Yeah.
think that's been my experience is, sure, I can go hop on my computer and I can go buy all this crap that'll distract me for a while, but it's not what I actually want from my life.
Yeah.
It's I want to see other people. I want to talk to other people. I want to experience the world and do it with somebody else.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing we lost is community.
I would agree with that. I think, yeah, I would agree with that definitely.
Do you have an answer for these that you've prepared? Or
No.
Okay.
No, I was actually just thinking about your answer, and I was thinking about Neuralink, and
Neuralink.
yeah, and what is it called? The metaverse, and how it's
Well-
interesting to think about because you're talking about community,
hmm
and everything that I've heard about the metaverse, right, is that you could be inside of like a virtual world or whatever, right?
Right.
And if you're inside of a virtual world, you're actually going to create community inside of this virtual world, which instead of doing that, why not just do it in real life?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think one of the three stupidest words that's been invented. It's Web3. It's metaverse, and there's so many good picks between the other one. I don't know. There's a lot of weird, stupid tech words that mean absolutely nothing, but people
Yeah.
decide had meaning. Um,
Okay, so
but I
what?
can't stand metaverse
So why do you not like metaverse?
because it's not real. It's a hype for money. It's not like anyone who actually knows anything about virtual reality or machine learning or whatever hype crap they're talking about knows that it doesn't do any of the things that they're talking about.
Okay,
It really doesn't. And I think it's just like I think they're just trying to sell something. They're not actually providing anything of substance. People have been on the metaverse or there's an app called VR Chat and people
Yeah.
will go and like just hang out on this. And they've created communities and I bet it is more real than phone stuff, but it's not real.
right.
Well,
Well, that's what I mean.
it's not real.
Yeah,
It won't be real. Like that's what irks me about it is they're telling you it's real. It's not going to be real. That just rubs me the wrong way. But yeah, that's just from someone who's burnt out from the software industry. So call it what you will.
call it what I will.
Yeah.
So follow-up question to that:
Uh-huh.
do you think we're part of a matrix?
I think I don't care. I don't care. I think for my purposes, for me living my life, it does not matter. Like I had a debate with a friend a while back about free will versus determinism,
Yeah,
and I came to the conclusion that it didn't matter because I don't care whether everything in my life is determined or if it's all simulated. I'm experiencing it right now,
yeah,
and that's what I care about. I don't care if there is a grand plan to it all, or if there's, you know,
No
some big
purpose.
scheme, or if
Yeah.
there's nothing to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to make what I will out of it because I'm right here, right now, and that's not going to change unless I find the matrix key. You know, if
The red
someone
pill or the blue pill?
if someone offers me the red pill, then we'll talk, Dan. But you know,
I should have brought some Mike and Ike's.
Right, some Mike and that would have been awesome. But no, nobody's offering me the red pill, and so I don't need to make that choice in reality.
Yeah.
But I don't care. If I were to guess, no. But I think it's awfully weird sometimes,
Right.
the world we live in.
Yeah.
I think it gets absurd. You know, but I don't. If it's really a matrix or not, I have no clue.
I think it's fun to think about sometimes.
No. Okay, it's a fun thought experiment. Like if it were simulated, I think it'd be. I just want to know what computer it's running. I mean, for real, like what kind of like that's crazy.
Like my kids like to play The Sims. I like The Sims.
Right. If The Sims were conscious, that game would be a nightmare.
Right. But imagine like if somebody's just playing a game and we're those little characters, you know?
Right. I feel like it'd be a pretty boring character to watch, Dan. Do you feel like whoever's playing you is bored?
Well, I guess
my
I guess
person is
what it
pretty
would boil
bored.
down to, is if you have the setting set to, you know, are their choices automated, or do you have to make every choice for them?
Right.
Because if they had to make every choice for me, it'd be super boring. But if they could
Go
just
to
let me
work,
do
go
my
to work
thing,
every day versus
yeah,
then they get to like pop in for the big life events and
they're like, oh, geez, look, he's got to go to the bathroom again. I got to go to the toilet, click on, go to the bathroom.
right,
That's boring.
right.
But
Yeah, or the Sims, like you have to actually like usually they automate themselves, right? With the
right,
Sims.
but you can set different levels.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, you can set it so like if you didn't really want to do all the micromanaging, you
Uh-huh.
can have them pretty free will.
Uh-huh.
They do their own thing,
And then you can micromanage them if
and
you
you
want.
can micromanage if you want.
Well, see, that's the weird thing. So you can make a Sim not pee for like ever,
You could, and then
you
they
know,
just
and
pee
then
themselves.
they pee themselves.
Yeah,
And I don't see many people in the real world doing that. So there's got to be constraints to this game.
dude, there are times, bro, that like we've gone on walks, and I'm like, yo, we gotta get back home, man.
Well, like that's
So
like life
that's them
circumstance. But
clicking. That's them clicking. Like, hurry, get home, hurry.
I don't know. I don't have many circumstances where I'm like just sitting at home and I'm just like, oh man, I'm not gonna get up. Oh
I
man,
need
I'm
to
not
go,
gonna get up.
but-
Oh, I pissed myself. It just doesn't happen, man. So there's got to be some.
So you have free will. Then.
I guess maybe I do. Maybe I do. I feel like I do. You know, that might be the most important thing for me.
Or maybe I should challenge you to challenge your free will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should I challenge you to challenge your free will?
Like right now.
No, just in the next week.
Sure. I mean, if you want me to like challenge my free will right now, I'll like lick the camera or something if you want. I'll make you clean it later.
Oh, that's
But-
funny. All right. Let's do the speed round.
Okay. Speed round.
Speed round. Okay, so the way speed round works, I ask a question, you just answer as quick as you can.
Okay.
No
Thought. Or anything.
thought or well, obviously some thought,
Right.
but not like deep thought. Okay?
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
10 questions.
Okay.
Sweet or salty snacks?
Depending, but sweet. Usually sweet.
Favorite color?
Green.
Winter or summer?
Winter.
Favorite superhero?
Invincible, I guess.
Music or movies?
Music.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Ocean or mountains?
Mountains. 100% mountains.
Favorite food?
Sushi.
Favorite place you've visited?
Grand Canyon was just the most recent place I visited, but I can't think of anything else. I'm gonna go with Newport Beach.
Newport Beach. Card games or board games?
Card games.
Okay, so what did you say your favorite color was?
Green.
Green. And you picked winter. I mean, you love skiing, so that makes total sense.
And summer's too hot, man.
I love summer, man.
Well, I like summer. Trail season's dope.
No.
It's too hot.
Give me the triple digits.
No.
That's when I
What?
want to. That's
Dan,
when,
no.
that's when I want to go out and run, dude.
You want to go out and run in triple digits?
Heck yes, 3:00 in the afternoon, bro. You'll see me out there in the triple digits.
You're a monster.
I love it. It's my favorite.
You're a monster.
There's nothing better than every pore on your body just sweating.
No,
It's the best.
I viscerally do not like that.
But see, you grew up a
I know, I
computer kid.
I know, but I don't understand why you'd want to do that. Like, I hop in the sauna. It's nice. Is it a
just
similar
feels
experience?
so empowering, dude.
Yeah.
It's empowering.
We need a third mic for Christy so that she can weigh in and tell you that
We
you're
do
crazy.
need a third mic, but she tries to like talk sense into me all the time. It doesn't work.
Well, I mean, do what you got to do, man. But I mean, I'm also going to tell you that that's a little wild.
It is wild.
It's a little wild. I do what you got to do though.
I love it. It's my favorite.
Huh. That's really crazy.
Yeah. So I think one of the other things I enjoy about it is that I know I'm pretty much the only guy out there. Like
Well, yeah.
nobody else is out running
Uh,
when I'm running in that.
That should be your indicator that you should not be out.
That is the indicator that I am dope.
I mean, you were dope
Straight
regardless.
beast mode. Dude.
You don't have to run in 100-degree weather to be dope.
Well, no,
Dan, you're dope regardless.
I don't know what it is. I just really enjoy it. I really enjoy
If
it.
you enjoy it, then that's your prerogative,
You know,
dude. I just
I
drink
hydrate. I hydrate a ton before my run,
water. Right.
and I don't do like long
Do you
distances.
ever worry about heat stroke?
I've never really had any issue. No. I mean, I've bonked out once or twice. But you know, that's okay.
You passed out a couple
No,
times?
I didn't pass out. I bonked out.
What? Okay, what's the difference between passing
So
out and bonk?
bonking is like you have no fuel left in your body.
Oh, and you're just like you just gas out.
So like I remember vividly the first time it happened. I was running. It was a hot day. I had water on me, and I'd run towards Abe's house.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So the school by Abe's house, I had gotten to. Yeah, you know Fish, Colby Sessions.
No, I have no clue who that is.
Well, their house backs up on the school there by his house.
Mhm.
So I had gotten there and I was out of water. And so I filled up my water at their hose.
Oh,
And then I started on my way back. And on my way back, it just like all of a sudden hit me like my muscles had no energy left in them.
really?
None.
And
It was-
you could experience that they had no energy.
Like there was no energy. I literally had to just walk most of the way home
Wow.
because I had nothing left.
Wow.
And if I tried to run, I would be running at like an 18-minute mile, which is like super slow.
Yeah. Okay. I've ran a mile. I know how long it usually takes to run a mile.
You know what I mean?
That's slow.
So when you bonk, it's like you have no fuel. Your body has nothing left to burn.
It's like when you're finishing sprinting in a game and like he like slows down.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is. It's seriously the craziest thing.
Wow.
And then last year training for Speed Goat, I ran Big Cottonwood Canyon,
Uh-huh.
and I ran up.
That's not easy.
I was keeping pretty good pace up, and I had only taken kind of sugary fuels for that run,
Oh.
and I can't smell typically because I have sinus problems.
Oh.
But on that run, when I run, sometimes the sinuses open up, so I could like smell the pine trees.
Oh.
I was like really loving it, but then my sense of taste gets hyper sensitive,
hmm
and all I had was sugar.
Oh no.
And so I got up to Brighton and I started on the way back down and I popped one of my sugar treats and I was like almost going to barf because it was just too much sugar.
Oh man.
So then I couldn't fuel on the way down. So all of my miles on the way down were slower pace than my miles on the way
Way
up.
up, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I had to run walk on the way down the canyon. So there were times I'm just like walking. I
Holy
was
cow.
like infuriated because I'm like, how am I going so slow downhill? You know what I mean?
right.
Like
You're
I could just
I
roll,
literally-
fall and roll.
Right. Yeah. Like I outpaced this uphill.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So that's what bonking is. It's like your body's just burned up everything.
Gotcha. Okay.
You don't want that feeling. It sucks.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
Yeah, wow.
let's do last two questions.
Cool.
You ready?
Let's do it.
If you were a special guest at an event,
hmm
what would your walk-up song be? Everybody welcome Eli. What music's playing?
Oh man, I don't know. I can't think of a possible like song that would be cool, so I feel like I'd have to lean into sarcasm. I'd probably play Highway to Hell.
Boom. I love that.
Like I just
I like that.
I just own it so hard to push past the embarrassment of having a theme song to open up on.
Why is that embarrassing?
I don't know. That doesn't ring right. I'm not a theme song guy.
So you would just want people to be like, everybody welcome Eli, and you just like walk out to silence?
I don't know. I'm not attending the kind of event that has like probably clapping. I should hope that some people clap when I walk up. I don't want to be at the event where they don't clap for me. I mean, but no, I don't want like a theme. Like maybe they have like their own soundtrack that they do for everybody, but I don't want my own theme song.
Okay.
You know, like I'm not that kind of guy. Like if I were at an event, like the kind of event I would actually speak or attend or do would just not be that way. I don't think. You know,
Would it be just like computer coding sound in the background?
no, it'd just be clapping. Like I don't know, like they don't have. Do they have intro songs for like a TED Talk or something?
Yeah, I mean, so like if you think about, who are some of these like big name peoples that do conferences? I don't even know their names.
What kind of names are you talking? Like the Andrew Huberman type? Are you talking about like
Like just people
Joe
that come
Rogan
out and
kind of?
like pump up businesses, you know? Roger Barnett, the CEO of Shackley, he has a walkout song. What is his song again? I don't remember.
Fire up or whatever.
I'm not
Yeah, it's like a Rolling Stone song. So like it's like
like
some song that hypes you up, and you're like, yeah, this song pumps me up to get me ready to just give people energy. So,
like am I a hype man?
yeah, so like Highway to Hell
like
would be
if,
perfect.
If I'm a hype man, then yeah, Highway to Hell is perfect.
Yeah.
I think that. Well, I guess that's
So
Yeah.
you were thinking like if you were going out there to teach like a coding conference.
or like a seminar. I'm giving a speech or something. I'm like,
Hey,
you know, like I pull
when
up-
I speak at church, I expect them to give me a song. when
Yeah,
I'm
like-
walking up.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
you playing Highway
I'm
to
like,
Hell on
yo,
the way up to the pulpit.
what?
Give money in his house.
Exactly. I'll use that next time I speak at church.
$5 if the bishop actually does that for you. I swear that would be incredible. You got to do that for Kyler when he comes back on his mission.
I should do that.
Oh yeah,
That'd be amazing.
that'd be incredible.
That would be. Okay, last question.
Okay,
What is something that brings you the ultimate joy?
so we're not just talking like regular. This is the cream of the crop.
Like
here.
right now in your life, right this second, not throughout your life, but right now, what is it that you find the most joy in? Because I think that changes, you know,
Yeah,
different
it's
seasons of
changed
life
a
and
lot.
whatnot.
I have two
Okay.
hobbies. Like the biggest joy is like being able to really engross yourself in something, like get in the flow state, or like to have like flow state with people. So I'd say flow and presence, which are kind of the same thing. But flow has to do with focus, and presence is more like being able to take in the whole moment.
Yeah.
So I think at a certain level, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I want to be happy, I just tune in.
Be in the now.
Yeah.
I talk about that with Christy all the time, being in the now.
Yeah. It's a very wise thing.
Yeah.
There's a whole book about that.
I mean, we like to focus on the past or the future a lot, but we should be right now. So,
And I mean, that's the secret, man. I mean, and it's the thing that's consistently made me the happiest
Yeah.
is that I'm realizing that there's nothing besides exactly what's going on. I don't, I can sit and plan or I can reminisce, but it's not gonna change
Right now.
right now.
Yeah.
And so just dropping into exactly what's happening just allows you to like embody it. And that's the biggest joy. So dropping in and embodying whatever it is that you're doing. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Every time I ride the one wheel, when I
Oh,
first
yeah.
get on, I'm like, oh man, it's been a minute. I'm a little nervous. But once you get that comfort level again going,
Mhm.
nothing like it, man.
And you and me got to ride the trails. Can I take you down to Lodestone sometimes? It's a nice, easy trail. Real
Dude.
flowy.
I'll go with you.
Yeah?
I'll go with you.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to bear with me because I'm a little like trails will be totally new to me.
That's all good.
So
You have a great board for it, man. But I'm serious. You get that flow state. Like that's one of my favorite things about One Wheel is there's so much joy of doing something that's my favorite hobby, and then there's the presence that comes with just fully letting like you can feel each muscle and you can feel the curves, the flow of everything. It's really
yeah.
that's one of my favorite things on the whole planet. So, it's dry this week. If you have time, I'll be going up there. Doing a group ride tomorrow evening.
Sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, dude.
Sweet. So flow and presence.
Flow and presence, which are kind of the same thing. So you could say embodying.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
I like it. Well, once again, thank you for being young and wise and
No
sharing your thoughts with us.
I'm happy to help. I'm just happy to be here, man.
Yeah, no, we're happy to have you. We're happy that you were willing to switch locations.
Oh yeah, well, that was funny. You better cut that in, man.
I'll figure out a way to cut that in.
Yeah, you like put some text over and tell what he's saying.
Yeah.
As you're
Yeah.
going, because dude, if he sees this podcast,
He's not going to see this
he's
podcast,
not. But
dude.
if he does, you got to change, man. Don't be a d-bag. We're not bothering anybody.
Yeah, we are not bothering anybody.
I know. Yeah.
So
Let him know.
yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Happy to do it, man. It's been a pleasure.
It's been great having you on here where I think the conversation's been fabulous. So thanks again.
Beautiful. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Give this a thumbs up if you like what Eli had to say today. Thank you very much for joining us. And until next time, we out. Peace.
Woo! Sweet. And wrap. I can stop holding the umbrella. Oh, never mind. Maybe I want to. That's bright.
Dude, I'm glad that you got that umbrella.